Okay, back for science. Okay, I need you to have your mama check for your best one. You get your best one out and you show your mama your best. Respiratory drawing, digestive drawing, heart drawing, skin drawing, skeleton, and brain. So those are the ones that we worked on this week. Now during this video, you're going to pause it and work on different things as I go through, okay? Because we would be doing these in class together. So you can use that time to just pause the video and as I go on. So we are doing an assessment today on the skeleton. So get a blank piece of paper out, whatever your mama is going to have you work on. A blank piece of like printer paper, that'll work too. But just go ahead and get that out. Put your books away, your guide away. Get a pencil out, and then get another ink color out. And you're going to draw your skeleton from complete memory with nothing out, okay? Just like our assessment would be in class. From place of music, but draw your skeleton, take as long as you need, and then when you are finished with that, come back to the video because I'm going to move on into what I'm introducing this week. So get your workspace ready and pause the video for your skeleton assessment, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, so hopefully you've drawn your skeleton and your back, and you did amazing on your bones and your memorization of that. And then what you don't have, your mama check that, and then that's what you will be really focusing on this week in your review of your skeleton. Because now skeleton will go into the review with our respiratory, digestive, heart, and skin. So now we are going to draw and label from memory, and it's not an assessment, of our brain, because this is the one we worked on this week. This is our new one this week. So we're going to use our two-ink method. You're going to draw with one color, typically a pencil, and then you're going to get your guide out, and you're going to correct with another color. So you'll know that that is the things, if you miss anything, what needs to be worked on this week during your review week of the brain. Because this week the brain goes into, we're still drawing it every day because this is only our second week on it, but into review. So get your, it can be another piece of printer paper, or it could be in your sketch notebook that you typically do it in. Just put the date 3/24 of 2020 and put that on your assessment too. I didn't say that a while ago. And then this is just in class work, so you can keep these separate. And you're going to draw and label the brain as much as you can remember from this week, and then get your guide out and with another color correct the ones that you might have missed. So pause the video and do that, and I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so we've done our skeleton assessment, we've done our brain from memory using the two-ink method, and now we're going to get into the introducing of what we're going to do this week. So I am on page 142 of our guide, and we are this week working on the neuron. And if I have counted right, we have 16 terms of the neuron. Jackson and I were looking at this yesterday, and he said, "Oh, finally something easy to draw." So it looks much simpler in our drawing. So we have 16 terms that we're going to be learning, but maybe like Jackson said, it'll be a little easier to draw this week. Maybe not so complex. So these are our terms that we're going to be looking up the definitions and working on those. This week we have the axon, the cell body, cytoplasm, dendrites, the myelin sheath, node of Ranvier, nucleus, the Schwann cell nucleus, synaptic knob, and terminal branches. The acetylcholine sacs, axon again, cleft, muscle fiber, and synaptic knob again. And they have those mentioned both in the neuron and the neuromuscular junction, because there's two parts to this. You'll see it in your drawing, but our guide says they're listed twice, as they are labeled both on the neuron and the neuromuscular junction. They're on both of those. It's kind of like the phalanges on our skeleton. They were in our hands and our feet, so they were listed twice. So if you look on that page, you have the full anatomy of the neuron, and then if you look on kind of the right side towards where your spine of your book is, I'll see if I can do it. And then we have this the square down here. This is the enlarged version of the synaptic knob. So we're going to memorize all this and then just take this one in kind of an expanded form of that. So maybe that'll kind of help explain that. So I want you to get a piece of paper out, and you're going to work on the anatomy of the neuron while I read to you out of our book, More Than Meets the Eye, about the neuron. So get a piece of paper out. It can be your sketchbook. It can be another piece of printer paper, a blank piece of paper, and a pencil or whatever color that you would like to draw with. And you'll draw your neuron for the first time. Hopefully it's a little bit easier for you. And then listen to while I'm reading. And again, I'm reading out of More Than Meets the Eye. Okay, here we go. Neurotransmitters. Neurons work by a combination of electrical and chemical signals. Within the neuron itself, the signal is electrical, but where one nerve connects with its neighbor in a connection called a synapse, the signal switches into a chemical message. This chemical signal must be ferried across the synapse by a neurotransmitter. There are more than 100 different neurotransmitters, including such headline grabbers as serotonin and dopamine. Imagine it like this. We travel down the road at 400 miles per hour in a supercharged electrical car. No exhaust, no noise, just speed. When we come to a river, however, we stop the car, load it onto the ferry, dawdle across the river, unload the car, and then resume our furious dash down the road. In much the same way, the speed of electrical conduction down the nerve is rapid. Maximum speed actually is 400 miles per hour. But the chemical transport at the synapse is much slower, rather like waiting for a web page to download. It is not slow by normal human standards, for it happens in a few thousandths of a second, but in terms of the nervous system, that's like waiting for a glacier to move. A great deal of current brain research is being conducted in the area of neurotransmitters. With a newer and clearer understanding comes the hope for precise medications targeted to specific neurological dysfunction. The author is saying this, I suffer from migraine headaches, for example, and some of the new neurotransmitter-based medications have been a great benefit in arresting such headaches while still in the early stages. So, the neurons that we're talking, how fast they work when they were using the speed of 400 miles an hour. And this is going on just every single motion, every movement. We blink our eyes, things are in our brain just choo, 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 choo. They're constantly shooting off these signals that we can't even fathom. But yet we have an amazing creator that knew that it was going to need to be that way for our bodies to do everything they need to do. Blink, twitch, scratch, breathe. So all of these things, just moving my hand just like that. The things that had to go off in my brain, electrical and chemical, in order to be able to just make that simple move. So again, it just shows us that this amazing body that we have, sometimes we get frustrated with it, but it is just a miracle in itself, and how great our Creator is that spoke it into existence so long ago. So I hope this book is just a reminder for you as we look at this, the knowledge of our body, and as we learn it, but just to always reflect back to Him that created it, and just kind of stand in awe and take a step back to the beauty that it is, to the amazement that it is. It's such an amazing thing, especially the brain and all the functions that go on in the brain. Okay, so this week, you're going to look up your terms for the neuron. Don't forget to review your definitions that we have so far, for the skeleton, the brain, the skin, the heart, the respiratory, and the digestive system. Don't forget to review those. And then you're going to work on drawing the neuron and reviewing the brain in that. And then if you can, try to get yourself, or your mom, however she wants to do it, but at least one of the brain, one of the skeleton, one of the skin, one of the heart, one of the respiratory, and one of the digestive system at some time this week, because you do not want to lose that information. And our brain is an extremely smart computer, and it sees, oh, I'm not using this, I don't need it, and it can expunge it quickly. Especially the older you get, it happens even more quickly. So just keep reviewing that, so you don't lose that. Okay, that is it. We will see you in the next video.